Index of the Project Gutenberg Works of Sir Winston Spencer Churchill ******. Index of the Project Gutenberg Works of Sir Winston Spencer Churchill compiled by David Widger Churchill. Contents. Click on the # before each of the titles to view a linked table of contents for that volume. Click on the title itself to open the original online file. ### The River War ### The Malay-Kant Field Force ### London to Ladysmith via Pretoria ### Liberalism and the Social Problem ### Ian Hamilton's March ### Lord Randolph Churchill ### My African Journey ### World Crisis Volume 1 Tables of Contents of Volumes The River War An Account of the Reconquest of the Sudan by Winston S. Churchill. Contents. Chapter I The Rebellion of the Mahdi. Chapter 2 The Fate of the Envoy. Chapter 3 The Dervish Empire. Chapter 4 The Years of Preparation. Chapter V The Beginning of the War. Chapter 6 Furkit. Chapter 7 The Recovery of the Dongola Province. Chapter 8 The Desert Railway. Chapter 9 Abu Hamd. Chapter X Berber. Chapter 11 Reconnaissance. Chapter 12 The Battle of the Atbara. Chapter 13 The Grand Advance. Chapter 14 The Operations of the 1st of September. Chapter 15 The Battle of Omdurman. Chapter 16 The Fall of the City. Chapter 17 The Fashuda Incident. Chapter 18 On the Blue Nile. Chapter 19 The End of the Caliphate Appendix The Story of the Malay-Kant Field Force An Episode of Frontier War by Sir Winston S. Churchill. Contents. Preface. Chapter I The Theatre of War. Chapter 2 The Malay-Kant Camps. Chapter 3 The Outbreak. Chapter 4 The Attack on the Malay-Kant. Chapter V The Relief of Chak Dara. Chapter 6 The Defense of Chak Dara. Chapter 7 The Gate of Swat. Chapter 8 The Advance against the Momans. Chapter 9 Reconnaissance. Chapter X The March to Nawagai. Chapter 11 The Action of the Mamund Valley, 16th September. Chapter 12 At Inayat Killa. Chapter 13 Nawagai. Chapter 14 Back to the Mamund Valley. Chapter 15 The Work of the Cavalry. Chapter 16 Submission. Chapter 17 Military Observations. Chapter 18 And last, The Riddle of the Frontier. London to Ladysmith via Pretoria by Winston Spencer Churchill. Contents. Introductory Note Maps and Plans. Chapter I Steaming South RMS Dunnottar Castle the 26th of October and the 29th of October 1899. Chapter 2 The State of the Game Cape Town, the 1st of November 1899. Chapter 3 Along the Southern Frontier. East London, the 5th of November 1899. Chapter 4 In Natal East Cowart, the 6th of November 1899. Chapter V A Cruise in the Armoured Train. East Cowart, the 9th of November 1899. Chapter 6 Distant Guns. East Cowart, the 10th of November 1899. Chapter 7 The Fate of the Armoured Train. Pretoria, the 20th of November 1899. Chapter 8 Prisoners of War. Pretoria, the 24th of November, 1899, Chapter 9. Through the Dutch camps Pretoria, the 30th of November, 1899, Chapter X in African de Bonds Pretoria, the 3rd of December, 1899, Chapter 11. I escape from the Boers Larenco Marks, the 22nd of December, 1899, Chapter 12. Back to the British lines Frere, the 24th of December, 1899, Chapter 13. Christmas and New Year Frere, the 4th of January, 1900, Chapter 14. A military demonstration and some good news chiefly, the 8th of January, 1900, Chapter 15. The dash for Potgietter's Ferry Spearman's Hill, the 13th of January, 1900, Chapter 16. Tricart's Drift and the Affair of Acton Holmes Venters Sprout, the 22nd of January, 1900, Chapter 17. The Battle of Spienkop Venters Sprout, the 25th of January, 1900, Chapter 18. Through the 5 days action Venters Sprout, the 25th of January, 1900, Chapter 19. A fresh effort and an army chaplain Spearman's Hill, the 4th of February, 1900, Chapter XX. The combat of Vilkrantz General Buller's headquarters, the 9th of February, 1900, Chapter XXI. Hussar Hill General Buller's headquarters, the 15th of February, 1900, Chapter XXII. The engagement of Monte Cristo Singolo Neck, the 19th of February, 1900, Chapter 23. The passage of the Tugeler Hospital Ship Main, the 4th of March, 1900, Chapter XIV. The Battle of Pietas, the 3rd day Hospital Ship Main, the 5th of March, 1900, Chapter XXV. Upon Majuba Day Commandant's Office, Durban, the 6th of March, 1900, Chapter XXVI. The Relief of Ladysmith Commandant's Office, Durban, the 9th of March, 1900, Chapter XXI. After the siege Durban, the 10th of March, 1900, Map of Mr. Churchill's route. The theatre of the operations in Natal. Map of the operations of the Natal Field Army from the 11th of January to February the 9th, including the capture of Potgietter's Ferry, the 11th of January the passage of the Tugeler at Tricart's Drift, the 17th of January the affair of Acton Holmes, the 18th of January the action of Venters Sprout, the 20th of January and 21 the Battle of Spienkop, the 24th of January, and the combat of Vilkrantz, February the 6th, 7, and 8 Map of the operations of the Natal Field Army from the 14th of February to 28, including the reconnaissance and capture of Hussar Hill, the 14th of February the capture of Singolo, the 17th of February the engagement of Monte Cristo, February 8 occupation of the Langwani Plateau, the 19th of February and 20, and the Battle of Pietas the 21st of February to 27 plans the state's model schools Potgietter's Ferry position at Monte Cristo the Sioux position liberalism and the social problem by the Right Honourable Winston Spencer Churchill MP. London McMix Contents Page Preface 7 Introduction 13I The Record of the Government The Conciliation of South Africa 3 The Transvaal Constitution 16 The Orange Free State Constitution 45 Liberalism and Socialism 67 Imperial Preference, I-85 Imperial Preference, 2 106 The House of Lords 124 The Dundee Election 147 2 Social Organisation The Mines, 8 hours, Bill 173 Unemployment 189 The Social Field 211 The Approaching Conflict 225 The Anti-Sweating Bill 239 Labour Exchanges and Unemployment Insurance 253 3 The Budget Resolutions 277 The Budget and National Insurance 297 Land and Income Taxes in the Budget 318 The Budget and the Lords 344 The Spirit of the Budget 357 The Budget and Property 384 The Constitutional Menace 405 Ian Hamilton's March by Winston Spencer Churchill 1900 Contents A roving commission Exit General Gattaca at Halfway House 2 days with Brabazon 2 days with Brabazon Continued The Duetsdorp episode Ian Hamilton's March Ian Hamilton The action of Houtneck The Army of the Right Flank Lindley concerning a Boer convoy Action of Johannesburg The fall of Johannesburg The capture of Pretoria held by the enemy Action of Diamond Hill Appendix Ian Hamilton Maps and Plans Operations in the Orange Free State April 1900 Diagram explaining Hamilton's action at Israel's port the 25th of April Diagram explaining French's operations round Thabanchu the 25th and 27th of April Diagram explaining the action of Houtneck Diagram to explain the passage of the Sand River. The 10th of May 1900 Ian Hamilton's action at the Sand River. The 10th of May 1900 Ian Hamilton's action before Johannesburg Plan of the operations of 11th and the 12th of June 1900 Diagram explaining the action of Diamond Hill Map of March from Bloemfontein to Pretoria at end of book Lord Randolph Churchill by Winston Spencer Churchill MP 1883 Lord Randolph Churchill Vol I Lord Randolph Churchill Volume I Contents Volume I Illustrations to the first volume Lord Randolph Churchill Volume 2 Contents Volume 2 Illustrations to the second volume Index A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, Z Contents of the first volume Chapter I 1849 to 1874 Early years Page Blenheim, Woodstock, Birth and Parentage, Childhood, Cheam, Eton, The Family Borough, Merton, The Blenheim Harriers, Life at Oxford, Cowes 1873, Miss Jerome, The Woodstock Election, Marriage 1 Chapter 2 1874 to 1880 Member for Woodstock The Parliament of 1874, A Maiden's Speech, A Social Quarrel, Ireland, At the Little Lodge, Fitzgibbon and Howth, The Historical Society, Irish Politics, Butt and Parnell, The Beginnings of Obstruction, An Unguarded Speech, Irish Education, The Eastern Question, correspondence with Sir Charles Dilke, the County Government Bill, the Irish Famine Fund, ministerial embarrassments, Lord Beaconsfield's letter to the Duke of Marlborough, the general election of 1880, Mr. Gladstone's triumph 58 Chapter 3 1880 to 1883 the fourth party position of parties, Tory depression, Braidlorth, the origin of the fourth party, the Four Friends, the Employers' Liability Bill, fourth party tactics, differences with leaders, Sir Stafford Northcote, activities of the fourth party, the fourth party and Lord Beaconsfield, Lord Salisbury at Woodstock, correspondence with Wolfe, Joyous Days 119 Chapter 4 1881 to 1882 Ireland under storm outbreak of the storm, the Parnell movement, Irish speeches, the Compensation for Disturbance Bill, the winter of 1880, the Land League, the revolt of the Boers, coercion, Mr. Forster's misfortunes, the Kilmainham Treaty. The closure, Lord Beaconsfield gone 172 Chapter v 1883 Elijah's mantle the war in Egypt, the Conservative leaders, minor tactics in the House of Commons, correspondence with Sir Stafford Northcote, the Beaconsfield statue, Lord Randolph's letter to the Times, party displeasure, Elijah's mantle, the Affirmation Bill, the Primrose League, an Ishmaelite at bay, his father's death, an interlude 224 Chapter 6 1882 to 1885 Tory democracy a period of crisis, conditions in the House of Commons, Conservative paralysis. The new champion, power and popularity of Lord Randolph Churchill, the Tory Democrat, a trilogy at Edinburgh, the Blackpool speech, the Birmingham candidature, peace, retrenchment and reform, Tory democracy and fair trade, Tory democracy and the Constitution, the Church of England. The main achievement 268 Chapter 7 1883 to 1884 The party machine a daring enterprise, the fourth party, final phase, the National Union and the Central Committee, the conference at Birmingham, the proceedings of the new Council, dispute with Lord Salisbury, Lord Randolph elected chairman, the Charter Letter, notice to quit, a declaration of war, close fighting, Lord Randolph resigns, satisfaction in the House of Commons, dismay in the Conservative Party, intervention of the provincial leaders, Lord Randolph reinstated, progress of the conflict 302 Chapter 8 1884 The Reform Bill embarrassments of the ministry, too late. The advent of the Reform Bill, divisions in the Conservative Party, Lord Randolph and Reform, the mud cabin argument, power of Lord Randolph Churchill in the House of Commons, the second vote of censure, the Reform Bill in the Lords, conflict between the two houses, the conference of the National Union at Sheffield, Lord Randolph's victory, agreement with Lord Salisbury, the Autumn Campaign, Aston riots, the Aston debate, correspondence with Chamberlain, differences with Gorst, an Indian voyage 332 Chapter 9 1885 The fall of the government 1885 to 1785, a comparison, increasing weakness and perplexities of the ministry, Lord Randolph returns, his authority over the Conservative Party, Pengde and the Vote of Credit, correspondence with Lord Salisbury, Lord Randolph's attacks upon Mr. Gladstone and Lord Granville, the Crimes Act, a mortal blow, strange constitutional situation, relations with the Irish Party, defeat of the government, a threefold crisis, formation of Lord Salisbury's first administration, Lord Randolph refuses to join, the interregnum, Lord Randolph's own account of these transactions, appeals of various kinds, at the Inns of Court, a parliamentary incident, Sir Stafford retires, euthanasia of the Fourth Party, Mauritius Tesseluto 375 Chapter X 1885 The Ministry of Caretakers Lord Salisbury's difficulties, the last of the Woodstock elections, the new ministry, a truce at Westminster, a legislative feat, Montrosne and its consequences, Lord Carnarvon's opinions, the empty House meeting, the Prime Minister's reticence, the Conservative Cabinet and Home Rule, the election campaign, general confusion, the unauthorized program, Parnell's demand, the lines of battle, Lord Randolph's exertions and activities, a visit to Dublin, come over and help us, dispute with Lord Hartington, the Boa-Constrictor speech, the contest in Birmingham, popularity of the Conservative government, the poll, victories of Tory democracy in the boroughs, the loss of the counties, the Birmingham election, low water mark. 423 Chapter 11 1885 At the India Office a Serenosphere, the Council of India, Lord Randolph in office, Railway Development in India, Mr. Moore, the Russian crisis, the Afghan boundary, correspondence with the Queen, increase of the British and native armies in India, appointment of Sir Frederick Roberts, the Indian budget in the House of Commons, Lord Randolph and Lord Salisbury as letter writers, the Bombay Command, resignation of Lord Randolph Churchill, correspondence, Lord Salisbury yields, settlement of the dispute, conquest and annexation of Burma, the New Year's Proclamation 474 Appendices I. 3 Election Addresses, 1874, 1880, 1885 527 2. Further correspondence relating to the National Union of Conservative Associations 537 3. Lord Randolph Churchill's explanation of his action in regard to the Reform Bill, 1884 554. Lord Randolph Churchill's Letters from India, 1885 554 Illustrations to the First Volume 1. Lord Randolph Churchill, 1883, Photogravure, frontispiece to face page 2. Lord Randolph at Eton and at Oxford, Photogravure, 12-3. Lord Randolph and his father, Photogravure, Lord Randolph and his mother 28-4. Lady Randolph Churchill, Photogravure, 72-5. Member for Woodstock, Photogravure, 108-6. The Fourth Party, Vanity Fair, by Leslie Ward 168-7. Athwart the Course, cartoon from Punch, 232-8. A Dream of the Future, cartoon from Punch, 252-9. The First Diploma of the Primrose League, facsimile, 260-10. The Waits, cartoon from Punch, 472. Contents of the second volume, Chapter 12. 1886, the 26th of January. Page. Mr. Gladstone's Meditations. The Home Rule Disclosures. Lord Randolph's Irish Policy. Hopes of a Coalition. Lord Randolph's Programme. Lord Salisbury's Reply. Resignation of Lord Carnarvon. Procedure Discussions. Rumour and Report. Mr. Gladstone's Offer. The Queen's Speech. Lord Salisbury and Coercion. Divisions in the Cabinet. Meeting of Parliament. The Policy of the 26th of January. Mr. Jesse Collings' Amendment. Defeat of the Conservative Government. The Record 1. Chapter 13. 1886 Home Rule. Mr. Gladstone's Home Rule Administration. The reality of the struggle. Mr. Chamberlain's position. Lord Randolph and Home Rule. Ulster, 1886. The Union Party, waiting for the bill. Mr. Chamberlain resigns. Mr. Chamberlain and Lord Randolph. The Great Debate. Mr. Chamberlain's Speech. The Whig Peers. The Land Bill. The Dissentient Liberals. Mr. Chamberlain and Birmingham. The Foreign Office Meeting. A Critical Interlude. Never. Never. The Home Rule Division. Parliament dissolved 48. Chapter 14. 1886 Leader of the House of Commons. The general election. An old man in a hurry. Birmingham. Triumph of the Unionist Party. Formation of Lord Salisbury's second administration. The lead in the House of Commons. Chancellor of the Exchequer. The short session. Lord Randolph as leader. Conduct of public business. Correspondence with Lord Hartington. End of the session. Golden opinions. Foreign affairs. A grave divergence. Eastern policy. The Dartford Programme. Mr. Spencer's Journey. Bradford. The Grand Young Man. 115. Chapter 15. 1886 The Chancellor of the Exchequer at the Treasury. Lord Randolph as an official. Secret Service money. The Metropolitan Coal and Wine dues. Preparation of the budget. Democratic finance. The death duties. The inhabited house tax. New stamp duties. Horses. Cartridges and theatre tickets. The sinking fund. Large reductions of taxation. A 5-penny income tax. The means for local government. The budget in the cabinet. A silence. 179. Chapter 16. 1886 Resignation. Lord Randolph Churchill's resignation announced. Consideration of rival forces and principles in the Conservative Party. The conflict in the cabinet. Various differences. Retrenchment. The army estimates. The Prime Minister's choice. Windsor Castle. Letter of resignation. Lord Salisbury's reply. Publication of the news. General reflections thereon. 213. Chapter 17. 1887 The turn of the tide. A private member. Mr. Chamberlain's letters. Outcry against Lord Randolph Churchill. Lord Salisbury and Lord Hartington. Failure of a coalition. Protracted cabinet crisis. A New Year's Day letter. Explanation to the Queen. Mr. Jennings. Mr. Goshen. Death of Lord Iddesleigh. The government reconstituted. Final correspondence with Lord Salisbury. The two courses. Meeting of Parliament. Lord Randolph's statement. Algiers and Italy. Public results of Lord Randolph's resignation. Displeasure of the Conservative Party 251 Chapter 18. 1887 Economy difficulties of an ex-minister, Lord Randolph's course, Mr. Goshen's budget, the Army and Navy Committee, Economy and Efficiency, Departmental Mismanagement, Wolverhampton Speech, the Hartington Commission, Effect of Lord Randolph's agitation, Lord Randolph abandons Fair Trade 302 Chapter 19. 1887 to 1888 The National Party Ireland still, the Liberal Unionists, coercion, Lord Randolph Churchill and Mr. Chamberlain, dream of a central party, difficulties of cooperation, a severance, correspondence with Lord Hartington, weakness of the government, Irish educational schemes, Lord Randolph in Russia, his conversation with the Ch 334 Chapter XX. 1888 to 1889 Cross Currents Irish local government, a disregarded pledge, Swakin, vacancy at Birmingham, Mr. Chamberlain's attitude, Mr. Jennings' account, Lord Randolph withdraws, disappointment of Birmingham Conservatives, Mr. Balfour's intervention, correspondence with Mr. Chamberlain, royal grants, speeches in the Midlands, Mr. Podsnap, hostility of the Conservative Party 370 Chapter XXI. 1890 to 1891 The Parnell Commission The Pigot Letter, action of the government, Lord Randolph's warning, the forgery exposed, report of the Special Commission, Mr. Jennings' amendment, Lord Randolph's speech, Mr. Chamberlain replies, Mr. Jennings offended, wrath of the Conservative Party, estrangement from Mr. Jennings, tendency of Lord Randolph Churchill's later views, ministerial discredit, Lord Randolph on the turf, at home and abroad, barren years, loyalty to the Conservative Party, expedition to Mashonaland. Lion hunting, Mr. Balfour becomes leader of the House of Commons 405 Chapter XXII. 1892 to 1895 Opposition once more a new situation, General Election of 1892, Lord Randolph unopposed, friendly dispositions of Conservative leaders, Lord Randolph rejoins their councils, speech on the Home Rule Bill, fatal symptoms, his last success, correspondence with Fitzgibbon, riot in the House of Commons, increasing infirmities, a desperate campaign, Kissingen, meeting with Bismarck, preparations for a long journey, the end 453 Appendices v. 2 Election addresses, 1886 and 1892 491 6. Parliamentary procedure, the closure 507. Political letters of Lord Randolph Churchill, freedom of contract, temperance, Home Rule 504 8. 8. Mr. Jennings' account of his quarrel with Lord Randolph Churchill, Lord Justice Fitzgibbon's note thereupon 512 9. Lord Randolph Churchill's Memorandum on Army and Navy Administration 517 Index 525 Illustrations to the Second Volume 1. Lord Randolph Churchill, 1886, Photogravure, frontispiece to face page 2. Ulster will fight and Ulster will be right, Photogravure, 64 3. The Grand Young Man, cartoon from Punch, 144. Letter from Queen Victoria, facsimile, 154-5. Youth on the prow and pleasure at the helm. Cartoon from Punch, 168-6. Bellerophon Jr., cartoon from Punch, 184-7. Lord Randolph Churchill's budget, facsimile, 192-8. Lady Randolph Churchill, from a drawing by John S. Sargent, 438. Index O, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, Z. Abergavenny, Marquis of I. 315, 320. Admiralty expenditure, attack on, 2. 316. Affirmation Bill speech, I. 252, Punch cartoon, 255. Afghanistan, policy in, 2. 362. Alcester, Lord, I. 262. Alfred Churchill, Lord, I. 1952. Algiers, Italy, and c. Journey to, 2. 287, 289. Althorpe, Lord, 2. 125. Arabi Pasha, I. 226, 261, 289. Argyll, Duke of I. 224. Ashbourne, Lord, I. 128, 213, 214, 220, 393, 408, 409, 445, 2. 34, 78, 290. Ashley, Mr. Evelyn, I. 232. Ashmead Bartlett, Mr. I. 311. Aston Riots, I. 361, 365. Balfour, Mr. J. I. 134, 141, 149, 211, 219, 265, 304, 339, 343, 425, 433, 466, 471, 2. 29, 153, 195, 222, 301, 335, 350, 373, 91, 451, 452, 458, 460, 463, 470, 472. Barnaby, Sir N. 2. 318. Barnett, Mr. H. I. 52. Bartley, Mr. I. 318, 353. Bowman, Mr. 2. 415. Bailey, Mr. M. 2. 504, 505. Beach, Sir M. Hicks, I. 76, 85, 307, 320, 347, 349, 350, 356, 359, 360, 368, 384, 385, 387, 398, 400, 403, 417, 418, 432, 438, 448, 515, 2, 21, 34, 39, 45, 101, 109, 110, 116, 124, 125, 128, 145, 149, 207, 219, 224, 250, 285, 335, 337, 343, 371, 387, 392, 395, 395, 431 Beaconsfield, Olive, I-30, 64, 68, 84, 98, 112, 114, 120, 154, 157, 177, 197, 222, 334, 2, 300, 362, 460 Beaconsfield statue, unveiling of I-240 Beale, Mr. P. 2. 390 Beckett, Mr. E. 2. 307, 388 Belfast visit, 2. 59 Berlin, 2. 368 Birmingham, contests, I-285, 466, 532, 544, 2. 382 meeting at Aston Park I-361, 365 speeches, I-287, 296, 365, 2. 399 Bismarck, Prince von, 2. 360, 368, 477 Blackpool speech, I-290 Blandford, Marquis of, I-3, 19, 43, 165, 267 Blenheim Harriers, I-25, 33, 267 Blunt, Mr. Wilfrid, I-261 Borthwick, Sir, I-258, 2. 431 Bradford speeches, 2. 175, 177 Braidlorf, Mr. C. I-122, 124, 129, 209, 276, 333, 350, 2. 321, 428 Breteuil, Emdo, I-72, 2. 435 Bright, Mr. John, I-59, 225, 275, 285, 286, 287, 289, 292, 378, 2. 53, 94, 109, 113, 116, 300, 384 Bright, Mr. J. 2. 390, 392, 393 Broderick, Mr. I 343, 428, 440 Bryce, Mr. I 251 Budget, Amendment, 1885, I 398, 405 Draft, 1887 to 8, 2. 187 Bulgaria, 2. 154, 155, 165, 364 Bulla, Sir, 2. 138, 142, 143, 337 Burke, Mr. I 207, 211 Burke, Sir J. Bernard, I 95 Burma, I 517, 2. 43, 484 Burnaby, Colonel, I 258, 285, 320, 361, 378 Butt, Mr. I 58, 82, 175 Cadogan, Lord, I 160 Kane, Mr. 2. 78, 421 Cairns, Earl, I 227, 242 Cambridge University Carlton, Speech, I 295 Undergraduates Deputation, I 328 Cardwell, Lord, I 65 Carnarvon, Lord, I 251, 432, 440, 444, 460, 2. 20, 22, 28, 30, 57, 111 Cavendish, Lord F. I 124, 144, 207, 211 Central Committee, I 305, 308, 356 Chamberlain, Mr. J. I 58, 62, 170, 211, 222, 281, 286, 287, 349, 365, 370, 422, 428, 452, 462, 467, 2. 48, 52, 53, 57, 58, 73, 74, 75, 80, 82, 85, 94, 96, 100, 108, 113, 118, 119, 120, 125, 133, 143, 153, 164, 195, 216, 221, 243, 250, 252, 254, 262, 267, 284, 285, 286, 288, 336, 344, 345, 348, 349, 350, 351, 375, 382, 384, 386, 388, 392, 395, 403, 419, 420, 428, 463, 470, 472 Chancellor of the Exchequer, 2. 126, 179 Budget of 1887 to 8, 2. 187 Economies and reforms effected, 2. 184 Resignation, 2. 213, 234, 240, 255, 268, 270, 282 Channel Tunnel Bill, 2. 381 Chaplin, Mr. I-108, 245, 311, 313, 323, 355, 367, 2. 126, 175, 286, 287, 328 Chennai, Mr. I-160, 167, 241, 248, 276 Childers, Mr. 2. 205 Civil Servants Petitioning Powers, Speech, I-260 Clerk, Mr. I-311 Closure, I-212, 214, 219, 220, 2. 175, 176, 219 Coalition with Whigs, Proposals for, 2. 6, 8 Cobden, Mr. I-289, 292 Collings, Mr. Jesse, I-251, 2. 45, 164, 176 Compensation for Disturbance Bill, I-179 Connaught, Duke of, and the Bombay Command, I-503 Conservative Party, Irish Policy, Letter, 2. 3 Leadership, Question of Dual Control, I-227, 229, 242, 246, 251, 405 Parliamentary Reform, Attitude towards, I-336 Cook, Mr. 2. 119, 133 Corrupt and Illegal Practices Suppression Bill, I-264 Cotter, Mr. I-320 County Government Bill, I-106 Cowper, Lord, I-185, 207, 2. 90 Cranbourne, Lord, I-234 Cranbrook, Lord, 2. 35, 36, 40 Creighton, Dr. I-24, 34, 36, 37, 255 Cromer, Lord, 2. 377 Cross, Sir, I-342, 378 Curzon, Lady, I-430 Curzon, Lord, I-428, 2. 307 Curzon, Viscount, 2. 287, 290, 292, 295 Damer, Reverend L. Dawson, I-22, 23 Darling, Sir C. I-364 Dartford Speech, 2. 163, 175, 176 Diane, Count, 2. 172 David, Mr. M. I-175, 176 De Worms, Baron, I-166 Derby, Lord, I-105, 227, 2. 49, 361 Dilk, Sir C. I-70, 100 to 104, 276, 346, 347, 417 Dilwyn, Mr. I-126 Disraeli. C. Beaconsfield Dixon Heartland, Mr. I-258 Dodson, Mr. I-143 Dolben, Mackworth, I-7 Douglas, Mr. Acres, 2. 264, 268, 388, 389 Duffield, Tom, I-28 Dunraven, Lord, 2. 274, 432 Durham, Olive, I-281 Eastern Question, I-98, 100 to 104, 2. 154 See also Bulgaria Edinburgh Speeches, I-273, 278 to 281 Education, I-3, 8, 21, 24, 38 Egypt and the Sudan, Arabi Pasha, I-226, 261, 289 Condition of, I-225, 278, 334 Gordon, General, I-349, 351, 376 Policy, 2. 172, 365, 375 Sudan, Evacuation of, I-380, 382, 386, 387 Suleiman Sami, Case of, I-263 Tufik, Khedive, I-261 Egypt, Visit to, 2. 437 Egyptian Loan Bill, I-378 Elcho, Lord, I-339, 343 Elijah's mantle I-248 Employers' Liability Bill I-136 Scott, Mr. THS, I-15 Established Church, Defensive, Speech, I-296 Eaton, I-8 Expenditure, Criticisms on, I-143, 232 Fair Trade Movement, I-290, 472, 2. 327 Ferry, M. Jules, 2. 478 Fitzgibbon, Lord Justice, I-77, 79, 395, 434, 435, 459, 471, 525, 2. 59, 89, 96, 124, 132, 263, 307, 351, 353, 386, 455, 462, 468, 513, 515 Forster, Mr. I-63, 100, 174, 181, 185, 199, 201, 203, 207, 224, 349, 2. 49, 113 Fourth Party, Beaconsfield's Approval, I-154, 223 Budget Amendment, 1885, I-398 Coercion Policy, Opinion as to, I-197 Correspondence, I-162 Dual Control Question, I-228 Final Phase, I-303, 343 Front Opposition Bench Hostility, I-260 Gladstone's Attitude, I-152 Gorst's Article, Letter, I-548 Lord's Amendments to Redistribution Bill, I-417 Obstruction, Justification of, I-150 Origin of, I-131 Policy, I-136, 158, 230 Reform Bill, Attitude towards, I-341 Rupture and Reunion, I-199, 204, 209 Times Statement, I-168 Vanity Fair Cartoon, I-169 Work of, I-143, 149, 230, 2. 150 France, Relations with, 2. 365 Free Trade, I-292 Freycinet, MDO, 2. 172 to 174 Gastein, Visit to, I-267 Gathun Hardy, Mr. I-64, 66 German Emperor, I-166, 2. 368 Gibbs, Mr. V, 2. 472 Gibson, Mr. C. Ashbourne Gibson, Mr. Milner, I-234, 289 Giers, MDO, 2. 358, 366, 367 Giffard, Sir H. I 130, 368 Giles, Major, 2. 447 Gladstone, Mr. H. I 265 Gladstone, Mr. W. E. I 58, 60, 64, 69, 145, 172, 222, 232, 234, 260, 261, 264, 271, 275, 282, 283, 284, 377, 416, 432, 441, 451, 472, 2. 1, 3, 22, 24, 27, 62, 137, 143, 157, 169, 214, 219, 220, 229, 241, 300, 309, 312, 334, 340, 341, 360, 361, 365, 373, 428, 433, 454, 456, 463, 466, 469, 470, 471, 474, 477, 502 Affirmation Bill Oration, I 252 Bismarck's Estimative, 2. 479, 481 Braidlaw Case, I 127, 210, 212, 350 Burmese Policy, 2. 43 Disestablishment, Views on, I 454 Egyptian Policy, I 261, 279, 334, 349 Fourth Party, Attitude towards, I 152 Irish Home Rule Proposals, I 390, 409, 2. 29, 41, 51, 62, 66, 67, 78, 92, 96, 98, 100, 104, 111, 116, 153, 327, 437, 491, 497 Obstruction, Opinion on, I 150 Parnell Commission, 2. 413, 414 Rebuke of the Chair, I 347 Reform Bill, 1884, I 336, 342 Resignation, I 400, 402, 2. 122 Suleiman Sami, I-263 Transvaal, annexation of I-190, 192, 205, 208 vote of 11,000,000 L. I-380 Glasgow, invitation to I-163 Godley, Sir. I-476, 481 Gordon, General, I-349, 351, 376 Gorst, Mr. I-124, 133, 245, 262, 304, 305, 310, 320, 342, 352, 358, 373, 417, 421, 425, 438, 440, 471, 2. 127, 461 Gorst, Sir J. I-257 Goshen, Mr. I-219, 220, 295, 453, 2. 46, 47, 48, 53, 87, 90, 113, 116, 132, 200, 201, 207, 208, 243, 259, 268, 272, 282, 308, 335, 339, 350, 361, 470 Grant, Mr. Corrie, I-427, 428, 431 Grantham, Mr. I-126 Granville, Lord, I-102, 103, 276, 389, 432, 2. 361 Grader Wilton, Lord, I-60 Grosvenor, Lord R. I-385 Hamilton, Lord Claude, I-311, 323, 443 Hamilton, Lord George, 2. 228, 229, 231, 234, 236, 319, 323, 324 Hamilton, Sir. I-445 Hanbury, Mr. 2. 378 Harcourt, Sir W. I-67, 71, 153, 170, 204, 434, 438, 2. 49, 107, 145, 195, 205, 470 Hartdyke, Sir W. I-435 Hartington, Lord, I-58, 63, 103, 149, 179, 275, 349, 441, 453, 461, 2, 2, 3, 7, 46 to 48, 53, 54, 58, 69, 80 to 82, 87, 90, 94, 98, 113, 116, 120, 122, 124, 125, 141, 147, 153, 220, 221, 250, 256, 258, 272, 302, 321, 322, 337, 344, 349, 361, 365, 388, 392, 395 Hatzfeld, count, 2. 158 Healy, Mr. I 435, 2. 4 Henry, Mr. Mitchell, I 52 Herbert, Mr. I 65 Holland, Sir H. 2. 127, 273 Holmes, Mr. I 435, 436, 460 Home Rule, Attitude towards, I 90, 280, 453, 2. 3, 23, 117, 490, 494, 507, 508 Belfast Visit, 2. 59 Bill, Proposals as to, 2. 50, 55, 92, 97, 99, 115 Conservative Policy, I 448, 460, 2. 21, 23, 28, 427 Gladstone's Scheme, 2. 2, 29, 79 Queen's Speech, 1886, 2. 32 Hope, Mr. B. I 65 House of Commons Disturbance, 1893, 2. 472 Hull Speech, I 163 Idisley, Lord, I 64, 161, 219, 235, 265, 267, 326, 340, 354, 377, 398, 418, 2. 40, 127, 153, 155, 156, 160, 172, 174, 203, 212, 250, 276, 277 Aston Park I 360, 363, 364 Beaconsfield Statue, unveiling of I 240 Braidlaugh Case, I 124, 128, 210, 333, 334 Egyptian policy, I-262, 334 Fourth Party, hostility to, I-158, 260 Leadership of Conservative Party, I-145, 148, 157, 227, 242, 357, 381, 382, 403, 407, 408, 418 India, Northwest Frontier Delimitation, I-379, 380, 483 Visit to, I-374, 377, 554 to 564 India Office Administration, I-425, 474 Army Reorganization, I-489. Bimetallism Discussion, I-478 Bombay Command, I-503 Budget Statement, I-491 Burma, I-517 Railway Construction, I-477 Salisbury, Lord, Correspondence with, I-498 Ireland, Boycotting, Origin of, I-183 Coercion Policy, Attitude toward, I-177, 189, 197, 203, 391, 393, 396, 404, 409, 2. 34, 342 Conservative Party, Policy of, Letter, 2. 3 Home Rule. See that title Intermediate Education Question, I-94, 97 Land Legislation, I-205, 434, 2. 92, 344 Mantrasna Incident, I-436 Reform Bill, 1884, I-343, 344 Residence Inn, I-75, 80, 82, 110, 111 State of, I-1, 82, 172, 183, 186, 199, 444, 2. 33 Visit to, I-460 Irish County Government Bill, 2. 373 Irish Education Bill, Plans for, 2. 352 Irish Educational Endowments Bill, I-434 JS, excerpt from Realm, I-16 James, Sir H, I-134, 155, 255, 265, 411, 2. 47, 48, 58, 66, 113, 116, 250, 439, Jennings, Mr. L. I-298, 2. 270, 286 to 288, 290, 307, 312, 320, 321, 327, 329, 378, 386, 387, 402, 413, 414, 419, 420, 424, 426, 512 Jerome, Miss, I-39, 40, 57 Jerome, Mr. I-43, 56 Kerens, Mr. I-378 King Harmon, Colonel, 2. 137 Kissingen, 2. 476 Laborch, Mr. I-130, 213, 333, 2. 27, 145, 150, 253 Lansdowne, Marquis of I-224, 2. 273 Lanyon, Sir O, I-193 Lawson, Sir W, I-251 Leadership of the House. C. Idisley and Randolph Churchill Lee, Hans, 2. 447 Lee, Mr. I-16 Licensing Question, 2. 430, 506 Liverpool Meeting, I-443 Lowther, Mr. I-97, 245 Malmtrasner Incident, I-436 McCarthy, Mr. J, 2. 28 McLean, Mr. J. M, I-325, 2. 137 Manchester Speeches, I-231, 2. 69 Manners, Lord J, I-340 Marlborough, Duchess of, I-14, 30, 109, 115, 258 Fund for Relief of Irish Distress, I-110 Marlborough, Duke of, I-3, 20, 21, 32, 40, 92, 108, 114, 170, 178, 227, 266, 429, 2. 463 Marriage, I-57 Mashonaland, Visit to, 2. 447 Matthews, Mr. H, I-369, 2. 119, 126, 133, 134, 461 Mattinson, Mr. 2. 387 May, Sir Erskine, 2. 6, 408 Melbourne, Lord, 2. 14 Middle Temple Grand Day, 1885, I-414 Milner, Sir F. I-428 Mr. Podsnap 2. 399 Mr. Spencer's Travels, 2. 169 Mitford, Mr. P. I-258 more, Mr. W. I-481 Morley, Mr. J. I-125, 391, 392, 404, 2. 1, 48, 78, 88, 153, 353, 377, 405, 433, 469, 471 Morris, Lord Chief Justice, 2. 23, 57 Mowbray, Sir J. I 245 Mundala, Mr. 2. 397 National Union of Conservative Associations, I 305, 307, 312, 315, 318, 320, 321, 324, 326, 327, 330, 352, 355, 356, 536 to 543 North, Colonel, 2. 386 Northbrook, Lord, 2. 273 Northcote, Mr. Sen, I 245 Northcote, Sir Stafford. Seedisley, Norway, visit to, 2. 123 O'Brien, Mr. B, I 89 O'Brien, Mr. S, 2. 66, 67 Obstruction, closure, effective, on, I 221st use of, I 87 Opinion on, I 150 O'Connor, Mr. 2. 152 O'Donnell, Mr. F.H., I 128 Oldham Speech, I 163 Opposition, Functions of, I 233, 239 Oxford, I 31 Territorial Military Centre, Speech, I 66 Paddington, South, I 471, 2. 454, 461 Election Addresses, 2. 491, 496 Palmerston, Lord, I 234, 2. 260 Parliamentary Procedure, Reform of, I 211, 2. 10, 16, 17, 25, 42, 500, 502 Parnell, Mr. I 83, 174, 175, 176, 183, 185, 202, 205, 393 to 395, 397, 446, 455, 2. 1, 22, 24, 30, 51, 54, 66, 103, 109, 141, 143, 147, 149, 375, 452, 454 Arrest and Release, I 206, 207, 210 Commission, 2. 405, 413, 431 Kilmainham Treaty, I 207, 210, 212 Montrosna, I 438, 440 Parnellism and crime, 2. 406, 408, 423 Peel, Mr., 2. 9, 136 Percy, Lord, I 306, 312, 313, 317, 318, 323, 352, 355 Perkins, Mr., 2. 447, 450 Pigott Case, 2. 412, 416 Plunkett, Mr., 2. 67, 84 Ponsonby, Sir H., 2. 268 Preston Speech, I 185, 187 Primrose League, I 256, 356 Prince Imperial, Monument to, I 142 Prince of Wales's Wedding, I 9 Protection of Persons and Property Bill, I 200 Queen Victoria, Bombay Command Appointment, I 503 Indian Affairs, I 485 Letter, 2. 154 Resignation of Chancellor, 2. 234, 240, 255, 268 Radical Party, Principles of, I 231, 288, 293 Rakes, Mr., I 398, 2. 126 Randolph Churchill, Lady, I 167, 258, 429, 430, 431, 2. 366 to 368 Randolph Churchill, Lord, Birth, I 3 Chancellor of Exchequer, 2. 126, 179 Characteristics, I 6, 7, 14, 15, 33, 35, 48, 415, 2. 434 Chess, Fondness for, I 30 Death and Funeral, 2. 484 Education, I 3, 8, 21, 24, 38 Hunting, Delight in, I 4, 25, 28 Illness, 2. 464 India, Secretary for, I 425, 474 Leadership of House of Commons, 2. 126, 150, 154, 213 Letters, Style of, I 12, 13. 162 to 168 Maiden Speech in Parliament, I 66 Marriage, I 57 Member of Parliament, I 55 Nicknames and Caricatures of, I 275 Personal Appearance, I 15, 2. 465 Politics, Early Distaste to, I 164, 166 Popularity in 1882, I 273 Prediction in 1885, I 473 Public Life, Disinclination for, I 48 Speeches, Style of, I 276 Turf Experiences, 2. 432 Redistribution Bill, Lord's Amendments to I-417 Redschid Pasha, I-388 Read, Sir E. 2. 319 Reform Bill, 1884, I-335, 337, 341, 343, 360, 372, 550 Richards, Mr. B. I-15 Richmond, Duke of I-227 Ripon, Marquis of I-492 Ritchie, Mr. 2. 126 Roberts, Sir F. I-458, 490 Roebuck, Mr. I-58 Rosebery, Earl of I-29, 433, 2. 49, 471, 478 Rowlands, Mr. J. I-258, 2. 119, 120, 387, 391 Royal Buckhounds, I-232 Royal Grants, Speech, 2. 396 Russell, Lord J. I-234 Russell, Mr. E. 2. 142 Russia, Aggression in India, I-380, 382, 386, 387, 389 Visit to, 2. 356 Rylands, Mr. I-106, 2. 90 Salisbury, Marquis of I-65, 227, 233, 245, 265, 281, 303, 347, 381, 423, 433, 458, 468, 2. 6, 7, 14, 21, 26, 54, 58, 72, 75, 78, 89, 90, 116, 135, 153, 155, 187, 264, 273, 277, 278, 281, 294, 299, 361, 362, 368, 377, 431, 463 Bombay Command Appointment, Letters, I-504 Burma Policy, I-522, 524 Cabinet of 1885, I-400, 401, 402, 407, 413, 416, 419, 2. 122, 124 Carnarvon and Parnell, meeting of I-447 correspondence of I-499 disestablishment, views on I-455 Eastern Question, 2. 157, 158, 160, 162, 165 Irish affairs, attitude towards, 2. 29, 30, 33 to 35, 37, 64, 138, 334, 448, 470 National Union, I 312, 318, 319, 324, 330, 352, 357 Resignation of Lord Randolph, 2. 214, 218, 220, 223, 228, 231 to 234, 236, 243, 250, 255, 261, 267, 282 Woodstock speech, I 161 Schneidhorst, Mr. I 276, 286, 467, 2. 98, 119, 120, 134 Sclater Booth, Mr. I 106 Scott, Dr. I 22 Sexton, Mr. I 435, 2. 4, 64, 144 Siam, 2. 478 Slade, Sir, I 257 Smith, Mr. W.H., I 245, 344, 408, 503, 2. 21, 36, 40, 42, 44, 90, 124, 137, 156, 171, 221, 226, 227, 229, 230, 232, 273, 281, 291, 295, 310, 311, 321, 335, 350, 381, 406, 407, 451 Sudan. See Egypt and the Sudan. South Africa, Affairs in, I 190, 195 Visit to, 2. 447 Spencer, Lord, I 390, 438, 439, 441, 2. 3, 48 Stahl, Emdo, 2. 157 Stanhope, Mr. E, I 325, 330, 373, 2. 127, 273 Stanley, Colonel, I 342, 372 Stockton Speech, 2. 328 Stuart Wortley, Mr. I 323, 353 Swakin, 2. 375, 376 Sulaiman Sami, I-263 Tabba, Mr. I-3, 426 Tubbs, visit to 435 Temperance, letter 2. 506 Tufik, Khedive, I-261 Thomas, Colonel, I-4, 26 Tory Democracy, I-250, 290, 293, 295, 301, 302, 336, 349, 358, 411, 463, 465, 2. 404 Transvaal, I-190, 193 to 196 Trevelyan, Sergi, 2. 48, 74, 84, 336, 340 Turf Experiences, 2. 432 Turkey and the Eastern Question, Letters, I-100 to 104 Tayahwit, Mr. H, 2. 287, 289, 292 United States, visit to I-73 Vilayas, Mr. C, I-292 Walsall speech, 2. 397 Walsh, Archbishop, 2. 478, 353, 354, 356 War Office Expenditure, Attack on, 2. 316 Warren, Sir C, 2. 143 Watkin, Sir E, 2. 381 Webster, Sir R, 2. 407 Welby, Lord, 2. 182, 212 Welsh Church Suspensory Bill, 2. 466, 474 West, Sir, I-261, 2. 205 Whitby Meeting, 2. 326 Whitley, Mr. I-443 Winston Churchill, Mr. 2. 294, 468 Wolfe, Sir H.D., I-124, 126, 129, 131, 132, 163, 264, 267, 304, 305, 310, 311, 342, 358, 367, 421, 425, 428, 430, 438, 2. 236, 260, 261, 263 Wolverhampton speech, 2. 314 Woodstock, elections, I-52, 115, 426, 527 to 532 Parliamentary History, I-18 Reform of Borough, Speech, I-71 Salisbury's, Lord, Speech, I-160 Zulu War, I-142, 191 Footnotes, 1, 7 years at Eton, Brinsley Richards, p. 377. 2. Randolph Spencer Churchill, by T. H. S. Scott, M.A., Hutchinson and Company, 1895. 3. Fortnightly Review, October, 1874, Volume 16, p. 412. 4. Byron, Don Juan, Canto 9. Ilksxiv, 5. B. O'Brien, Life of Parnell, 2nd edition, I-163. 6. That this House, having been informed in Her Majesty's gracious speech that the conditions on which Her Majesty's neutrality is founded have not been infringed by either belligerent engaged in the war in the east of Europe, and having since received no information sufficient to justify a departure from the policy of neutrality and peace, sees no reason for adding to the burdens of the people by voting unnecessary supplies. 7. Elijah's Mantle Fortnightly Review, May, 1883. 8. I have been greatly assisted in this chapter by the excellent accounts of the fourth party proceedings contributed by Mr. Harold Gorst to the 19th century from November 1902 to January 1903. In relating some incidents, notably on pages 153 and 161, I have by his permission used his actual words. 9. Life of Parnell, R. Barry O'Brien, Volume I 247. 10. Compare Mr. Forster's Village Ruffians. 11. Men, Mines, and Animals in South Africa, p. 23. 12. Abridged. 13. Mr. Gladstone. 14. Mr. Chamberlain. 15. A quotation from Mr. Gladstone's famous pamphlet of 1876. 16. Preface to Lord Randolph Churchill's Speeches, by L. J. Jennings, Peaksziv. 17. Mr. Harold Gorst's Articles, 19th Century, November and December, 1902. 18. Appendix 2. 19. Appendix 2. 20. C. J. M. Maclean's Reminiscences, p. 68. 21. Appendix 2. 22. Letter to Mr. Wainwright, M.P., the 9th of June, 1884, Appendix 3. 23. Mr. W. H. Smith. 24. See especially his letter to Mr. Harold Gorst of the 5th of January, 1903, published in the Times, included as an appendix. 25. 19th Century, January 1903, by Mr. Harold E. Gorst. 26. Now Sir Charles Darling. 27. Appendix 4. See especially his description of the tiger hunt. 28. The 17th of January, 1885. 29. A note upon this chapter by Sir Michael Hick Speech. 30. August. 31. This was public-spirited. See page 440. 32. House of Lords, the 3rd of May, 1888. Hansard, 325, 1179. 33. Issued the 21st of November, 1880. 34. See Lord Randolph's Letters from India, Appendix. 35. Ireland's I. 36. Lord Ashbourne. 37. Our very good Lord, Ex-Chancellor Ball. 38. Times. 39. Appendix I. 40. This appears to have been an outside estimate. CP 490. 41. Sir John Gorst's eldest son, now Sir Eldon Gorst. 42. The italics are mine. WSC. 43. Mr. Smith to the Duke of Cambridge, the 9th of October, 1885. 44. Official Memorandum. 45. Colonel Burnaby was killed in action at Arbukli, the 18th of January, 1885. 46. This was written 10 days ago. Its contents are not much affected by recent events. RHSC. 47. 47. The memorandum and Lord Randolph's footnote are both undated, but Lord Salisbury's reply on the 9th shows that he had waited some days before replying. I conclude therefore that the 26th of November or 27 would be the latest date at which this document was written. 48. Mr. Laborch, who has checked and confirms this account of the conversation, remarks, as a matter of fact, Lord Randolph Churchill had asked me some time before to tell Mr. Gladstone that he would urge Ulster to resist by arms Home Rule, which I had done, and he now begged me to repeat to him his declaration of war. 49. Life of Gladstone, Volume 3. p. 270. 50. Lost. The passage ultimately adopted reads as follows: the social no less than the material condition of that country engages my anxious attention. Although there has been during the last year no marked increase of serious crime, there is in many places a concerted resistance to the enforcement of legal obligations, and I regret that the practice of organized intimidation continues to exist. I have caused every exertion to be used for the detection and punishment of these crimes, and no effort will be spared on the part of my government to protect my Irish subjects in the exercise of their legal rights and the enjoyment of individual liberty. If, as my information leads me to apprehend, the existing provisions of the law should prove to be inadequate to cope with these growing evils, I look with confidence to your willingness to invest my government with all necessary powers. 51. This was accompanied by the promise of a bill dealing with the land question, pursuing in a more extensive sense the policy indicated by the Land Purchase Act in 1885. 52. At the Colonial Office, the 15th of February, 1898, O'Brien's Life of Parnell, Chap 19 Volume 2. 53. Appendix V. 54. Lord Randolph Churchill 2576 Reverend J. Page Hop 769, 55, wrongly stated in the Annual Register of 1886 as the Board of Trade. 56. An expression quoted from Mr. Gladstone. 57. Lord Randolph as an official 19th century, October 1896, by the Right Honourable Sir Algernon West, KCB, 58, scale of 1886, still in force, SD. Where the packet, box, bottle, pot, and C, did not exceed the price or value of 1s, the duty was 0.1 1/2 exceeded 1s, but did not exceed 2s. 6D032s, 6D4s, 064s, 10s1010s, 20s2020s, 30s3030s, 50s 10-050s. 20 Lord Randolph Churchill's proposed scale, SD. Not exceeding 2D. In value 0.01 half 6D. 0.1 1/2 1s. 0.32s. 0.64s. 108s. 2012s. 3020s. 5040s. 10 exceeding 40s. 20 59. The exact figure is 291,666 L. 13s6D, but some reduction would probably occur in practice. 60. Lord Ashbourne. 61. Viscount Curzon, MP for South Buckinghamshire. 62. Viscount Curzon, the 21st of February. Hansard, 311, 179. 63. Secretary to the Treasury. 64. Times, the 20th of April, 1887. 65. See his letter to Mr. Arnold White, p. 459. 66. Number 119, Egypt Number 8, 1888, published the 12th of January, 1889. 67. Letter to Birmingham Daily Post, the 18th of April. 68. Life of Gladstone, Book X, Chapter 3. 69. Hansard, March, 1890. 70. See Appendix, Mr. Jennings's Memorandum and Lord Justice Fitzgibbon's note thereupon. 71. Appendix 8. 72. Local Taxation Bill, June 17, 228-224. 73. Addison, Spectator, number 68. 74. Men, Mines and Animals in South Africa. 75. The Honourable Lionel Holland. 76. Life of Pitt. 77. Abridged. My African Journey by the Right Honourable Winston Spencer Churchill, MP. Contents Chapter I Page The Uganda Railway 1 Chapter 2 Around Mount Kenya 19 Chapter 3 The Highlands of East Africa 45 Chapter 4 The Great Lakes 66 Chapter V The Kingdom of Uganda 86 Chapter 6 Kampala 104 Chapter 7 On Safari 127 Chapter 8 Murchison Falls 148 Chapter 9 Hippocamp 168 Chapter X Down the White Nile 188 Chapter 11 The Victoria and Albert Railway 209 Illustrations to Face Page Mr. Churchill and the Rhinoceros at Simba frontispiece on the Cowcatcher 7. The Rhinoceros at Simba 12. Guard of Honor, King's African Rifles 20. Breakdown on the way to Thika Camp 22. Shooting party at Thika Camp 24. The Banda at Thika Camp 28. Colonel Wilson's Lion 28. Durbar at Kiambu 30. The Rift Valley from the Kikuyu Escarpment 66. Government Stock Farm at Naivasha 68. The Laban's Wives 71. Railhead at Kaisumu 71. Kavirondo Warriors at Kaisumu 80. Nandi and Kavirondo Warriors at Kaisumu 84. Kaisumu 86. Government House Entebbe 90. The Governor with Baganda Group 102. Baganda Warriors at Kampala 106. King Dordy's Drummers at Kampala 108. Watching the War Dance at Kampala 109. On the way to Kampala 110. Road between Jinja and Lake Kyoga 110. War Dance at Kampala, the Bravest Man in the Army 112. War Dance at Kampala 112. The White Father's Mission at Kampala 114. Children at the English Catholic Mission, Kampala 114. Interior of Namirembe Cathedral 116. The Rupin Falls, Source of the Nile, 120. Between Naimul and Gondokoro 128. Forest scene near Rupin Falls 133. Palm tree near the ASUA 134. Banda with escort of King's African Rifles 134. An encampment 136. Landing at Mrulai 146. Murchison Falls 159. Feijoa, with natives assembled to welcome US 160 flotilla at Feijoa 162. The top of the Murchison Falls 164. Uganda scenery 164. The landing place at Feijoa 169. Early morning on the Nile at Feijoa 170. Feijoa 170. Approach to Lake Albert, with the Congo Hills in the distance 174. Wade Lie 174. The Kenya, James Martin and Good Hope nearing Naimul 178. Hippo Camp 178. Mr. Churchill on the observation ladder at Hippo Camp 182. Bank of the Victoria Nile 182. Mr. Churchill and Burchell's White Rhinoceros 186. Colonel Wilson's Elephant 187. The Kenya, James Martin and Good Hope on the White Nile 187. Fording the ASUA 192. The Belgian officials at Lado 196. Gondokoro 196. Review at Khartoum 198. Sudan government steamer Dal 198. Ashaluk at Kodak, Fashuda 202. The Palace, Khartoum 204. George Scrivings 207. Filey 208. Maps Eastern Africa 2. British East Africa 16. Uganda 92. Save Roller, A Tale of the Revolution in Lorania by Winston Spencer Churchill. Contents I. An event of political importance 2. The head of the state 3. The man of the multitude 4. The deputation v. A private conversation 6. On constitutional grounds 7. The State Ball 8. In the Starlight 9. The Admiral X. The Wand of the Magician 11. In the Watches of the Night 12. A Council of War 13. The action of the Executive 14. The loyalty of the Army 15. Surprises 16. The progress of the revolt 17. The defense of the palace 18. From a window 19. An educational experience XX. The end of the quarrel XXI. The return of the fleet XXII. Life's compensations. The world crisis by the Right Honourable Winston S. Churchill, First Lord of the Admiralty, 1911 to 1915. Contents Chapter Page I. The Vials of Wrath 1-2 Milestones to Armageddon 19-3. The Crisis of Agadir 38-4 Admirals All 68 v. The German Navy Law 95-6. The Romance of Design 125-7. The North Sea Front 149-8. Ireland and the European Balance 179-9. The Crisis 203x. The mobilization of the Navy 228-11. War, the passage of the Army 247-12. The battle in France 281-13. On the Oceans 305-14. In the Narrow Seas 330-15. Antwerp 355-16. The Channel Ports 391-17. The Grand Fleet and the Submarine Alarm 413-12. XVI Coronel and the Falklands 442-19. With Fisher at the Admiralty 479XX. The bombardment of Scarborough and Hartlepool 502XX. Turkey and the Balkans 522. Appendix A. Naval Staff Training 552. Appendix B. Tables of Fleet Strength 558. Appendix C. Trade Protection 562. Appendix D. Mining 566. Appendix E. First Lord's Minutes 570. Index 579. Table of Maps at page I. Home waters 224. To the escape of the Gbon 274. 3. On the Oceans 328. 4. Antwerp and the Belgium coast 360 v. Coronel and the Falklands 476. 6. The 16th of December 1914 518. Other illustrations. The 17 points of the First Lord 206. Facsimile of Admiralty's instructions to the Commander-in-Chief at Devonport facing page 474. End of the Project Gutenberg ebook. Index of the Project Gutenberg works of Sir Winston Spencer Churchill. Updated editions will replace the previous one. The old editions will be renamed. Creating the works from print editions not protected by U.S. copyright law means that no one owns a United States copyright in these works, so the Foundation, and you, can copy and distribute it in the United States without permission and without paying copyright royalties. Special rules, set forth in the general terms of use part of this license, apply to copying and distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept and trademark. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark, and may not be used if you charge for an ebook, except by following the terms of the trademark license, including paying royalties for use of the Project Gutenberg trademark. If you do not charge anything for copies of this ebook, complying with the trademark license is very easy. You may use this ebook for nearly any purpose, such as creation of derivative works, reports, performances and research. Project Gutenberg ebooks may be modified and printed and given away. You may do practically anything in the United States with ebooks not protected by U.S. copyright law. Redistribution is subject to the trademark license, especially commercial redistribution. Start. Full license. The full Project Gutenberg license. Please read this before you distribute or use this work to protect the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting the free distribution of electronic works. By using or distributing this work, or any other work associated in any way with the phrase Project Gutenberg, you agree to comply with all the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license available with this file or online at www.gutenberg.org/license. Section 1. General Terms of Use and Redistributing Project Gutenberg Trademark Symbol Electronic Works 1.0. By reading or using any part of this Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work, you indicate that you have read, understand, agree to and accept all the terms of this license and intellectual property, trademark/copyright, agreement. If you do not agree to abide by all the terms of this agreement, you must cease using and return or destroy all copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in your possession. If you paid a fee for obtaining a copy of or access to a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work and you do not agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement, you may obtain a refund from the person or entity to whom you paid the fee as set forth in paragraph 1.e.8. 1.b. Project Gutenberg is a registered trademark. It may only be used on or associated in any way with an electronic work by people who agree to be bound by the terms of this agreement. There are a few things that you can do with most Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works even without complying with the full terms of this agreement. See paragraph 1.c below. There are a lot of things you can do with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works if you follow the terms of this agreement and help preserve free future access to Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. See paragraph 1.e below. 1.c. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the Foundation or PGLAF, owns a compilation copyright in the collection of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Nearly all the individual works in the collection are in the public domain in the United States. If an individual work is unprotected by copyright law in the United States and you are located in the United States, we do not claim a right to prevent you from copying, distributing, performing, displaying or creating derivative works based on the work as long as all references to Project Gutenberg are removed. Of course, We hope that you will support the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol mission of promoting free access to electronic works by freely sharing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works in compliance with the terms of this agreement for keeping the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol name associated with the work. You can easily comply with the terms of this agreement by keeping this work in the same format with its attached full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license when you share it without charge with others. 1.d. The copyright laws of the place where you are located also govern what you can do with this work. Copyright laws in most countries are in a constant state of change. If you are outside the United States, check the laws of your country in addition to the terms of this agreement before downloading, copying, displaying, performing, distributing or creating derivative works based on this work or any other Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. The Foundation makes no representations concerning the copyright status of any work in any country other than the United States. 1.e Unless you have removed all references to Project Gutenberg. 1.e.1. The following sentence, with active links to, or other immediate access to, the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license must appear prominently whenever any copy of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, any work on which the phrase Project Gutenberg appears, or with which the phrase Project Gutenberg is associated, is accessed, displayed, performed, viewed, copied or distributed. This ebook is for the use of anyone anywhere in the United States and most other parts of the world at no cost and with almost no restrictions whatsoever. You may copy it, give it away or reuse it under the terms of the Project Gutenberg license included with this ebook or online at www.gutenberg.org. If you are not located in the United States, you will have to check the laws of the country where you are located before using this ebook. 1.e.2. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is derived from texts not protected by U.S. copyright law, does not contain a notice indicating that it is posted with permission of the copyright holder, the work can be copied and distributed to anyone in the United States without paying any fees or charges. If you are redistributing or providing access to a work with the phrase Project Gutenberg associated with or appearing on the work, you must comply either with the requirements of paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 or obtain permission for the use of the work and the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark as set forth in paragraphs 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.3. If an individual Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work is posted with the permission of the copyright holder, your use and distribution must comply with both paragraphs 1.e.1 through 1.e.7 and any additional terms imposed by the copyright holder. Additional terms will be linked to the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license for all works posted with the permission of the copyright holder found at the beginning of this work. 1.e.4. Do not unlink or detach or remove the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license terms from this work, or any files containing a part of this work or any other work associated with Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. 1.e.5 Do not copy, display, perform, distribute or redistribute this electronic work, or any part of this electronic work, without prominently displaying the sentence set forth in paragraph 1.e.1 with active links or immediate access to the full terms of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. 1.e.6 You may convert to and distribute this work in any binary, compressed, marked up, non-proprietary or proprietary form, including any word processing or hypertext form. However, if you provide access to or distribute copies of a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work in a format other than plain vanilla ASCII or other format used in the official version posted on the official Project Gutenberg trademark symbol website, www.gutenberg.org, you must, at no additional cost, fee or expense to the user, provide a copy, a means of exporting a copy, or a means of obtaining a copy upon request, of the work in its original plain vanilla ASCII or other form. Any alternate format must include the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license as specified in paragraph 1.e.1. 1.e.7 Do not charge a fee for access to, viewing, displaying, performing, copying or distributing any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works unless you comply with paragraph 1.e.8 or 1.e.9. 1.e.8 You may charge a reasonable fee for copies of or providing access to or distributing Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works provided that you pay a royalty fee of 20% of the gross profits you derive from the use of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works calculated using the method you already use to calculate your applicable taxes. The fee is owed to the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, but he has agreed to donate royalties under this paragraph to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Royalty payments must be paid within 60 days following each date on which you prepare, or are legally required to prepare, your periodic tax returns. Royalty payments should be clearly marked as such and sent to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation at the address specified in Section 4, Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. You provide a full refund of any money paid by a user who notifies you in writing, or by email, within 30 days of receipt that he does not agree to the terms of the full Project Gutenberg trademark symbol license. You must require such a user to return or destroy all copies of the works possessed in a physical medium and discontinue all use of and all access to other copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. You provide, in accordance with paragraph 1.f.3, a full refund of any money paid for a work or a replacement copy, if a defect in the electronic work is discovered and reported to you within 90 days of receipt of the work. You comply with all other terms of this agreement for free distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol works. 1.e.9 If you wish to charge a fee or distribute a project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work or group of works on different terms than are set forth in this agreement, you must obtain permission in writing from the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the manager of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark. Contact the Foundation as set forth in Section 3 below. 1.f1.f.1 Project Gutenberg volunteers and employees expend considerable effort to identify, do copyright research on, transcribe and proofread works not protected by U.S. copyright law in creating the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection. Despite these efforts, Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, and the medium on which they may be stored, may contain defects such as, but not limited to, incomplete, inaccurate or corrupt data, transcription errors, a copyright or other intellectual property infringement, a defective or damaged disk or other medium, a computer virus, or computer codes that damage or cannot be read by your equipment. 1.f.2 Limited warranty, disclaimer of damages, except for the right of replacement or refund described in paragraph 1.f.3, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, the owner of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol trademark, and any other party distributing a Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic work under this agreement, disclaim all liability to you for damages, costs and expenses, including legal fees. You agree that you have no remedies for negligence, strict liability, breach of warranty or breach of contract except those provided in paragraph 1.f.3. You agree that the Foundation, the trademark owner, and any distributor under this agreement will not be liable to you for actual, direct, indirect, consequential, punitive or incidental damages even if you give notice of the possibility of such damage. 1.f.3 Limited right of replacement or refund. If you discover a defect in this electronic work within 90 days of receiving it, you can receive a refund of the money, if any, you paid for it by sending a written explanation to the person you received the work from. If you received the work on a physical medium, you must return the medium with your written explanation. The person or entity that provided you with the defective work may elect to provide a replacement copy in lieu of a refund. If you received the work electronically, the person or entity providing it to you may choose to give you a second opportunity to receive the work electronically in lieu of a refund. If the second copy is also defective, you may demand a refund in writing without further opportunities to fix the problem. 1.f.4 Except for the limited right of replacement or refund set forth in paragraph 1.f.3, this work is provided to you as is, with no other warranties of any kind, express or implied, including but not limited to warranties of merchantability or fitness for any purpose. 1.f.5 Some states do not allow disclaimers of certain implied warranties or the exclusion or limitation of certain types of damages. If any disclaimer or limitation set forth in this agreement violates the law of the state applicable to this agreement, the agreement shall be interpreted to make the maximum disclaimer or limitation permitted by the applicable state law. The invalidity or unenforceability of any provision of this agreement shall not void the remaining provisions. 1.f.6 Indemnity. You agree to indemnify and hold the foundation, the trademark owner, any agent or employee of the foundation, anyone providing copies of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works in accordance with this agreement, and any volunteers associated with the production, promotion and distribution of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works, harmless from all liability, costs and expenses, including legal fees, that arise directly or indirectly from any of the following which you do or cause to occur. A. Distribution of this or any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work. B. Alteration, modification, or additions or deletions to any Project Gutenberg trademark symbol work, and C. Any defect you cause. Section 2. Information about the mission of Project Gutenberg trademark symbol. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol is synonymous with the free distribution of electronic works in formats readable by the widest variety of computers, including obsolete, old, middle-aged and new computers. It exists because of the efforts of hundreds of volunteers and donations from people in all walks of life. Volunteers and financial support to provide volunteers with the assistance they need are critical to reaching Project Gutenberg trademark symbol's goals and ensuring that the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol collection will remain freely available for generations to come. In 2001, the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation was created to provide a secure and permanent future for Project Gutenberg trademark symbol and future generations. To learn more about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation and how your efforts and donations can help, see sections 3 and 4 and the Foundation information page at www.gutenberg.org. Section 3. Information about the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. The Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation is a non-profit 501(c)(3) educational corporation organized under the laws of the state of Mississippi and granted tax-exempt status by the Internal Revenue Service. The Foundation's IN or Federal Tax Identification Number is 64-6221541. Contributions to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation are tax-deductible to the full extent permitted by U.S. federal laws and your state's laws. The Foundation's business office is located at 809 North 1500 West, Salt Lake City, UT 84116. 801-596-1887. Email contact links and up-to-date contact information can be found at the Foundation's website and official page at www.gutenberg.org/contact section 4. Information about donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol depends upon and cannot survive without widespread public support and donations to carry out its mission of increasing the number of public domain and licensed works that can be freely distributed in machine-readable form accessible by the widest array of equipment, including outdated equipment. Many small donations, $1 to $5,000, are particularly important to maintaining tax-exempt status with the IRS. The Foundation is committed to complying with the laws regulating charities and charitable donations in all 50 states of the United States. Compliance requirements are not uniform and it takes a considerable effort, much paperwork and many fees to meet and keep up with these requirements. We do not solicit donations in locations where we have not received written confirmation of compliance. To send donations or determine the status of compliance for any particular state, visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. While we cannot and do not solicit contributions from states where we have not met the solicitation requirements, we know of no prohibition against accepting unsolicited donations from donors in such states who approach us with offers to donate. International donations are gratefully accepted, but we cannot make any statements concerning tax treatment of donations received from outside the United States. U.S. laws alone swamp our small staff. Please check the Project Gutenberg web pages for current donation methods and addresses. Donations are accepted in a number of other ways, including checks, online payments and credit card donations. To donate, please visit www.gutenberg.org/donate. Section 5. General information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol electronic works. Professor Michael S. Hart was the originator of the Project Gutenberg trademark symbol concept of a library of electronic works that could be freely shared with anyone. For 40 years, he produced and distributed Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks with only a loose network of volunteer support. Project Gutenberg trademark symbol ebooks are often created from several printed editions, all of which are confirmed as not protected by copyright in the US unless a copyright notice is included. Thus, we do not necessarily keep ebooks in compliance with any particular paper edition. Most people start at our website, which has the main PG search facility, www.gutenberg.org. This website includes information about Project Gutenberg trademark symbol, including how to make donations to the Project Gutenberg Literary Archive Foundation, how to help produce our new ebooks, and how to subscribe to our email newsletter to hear about new ebooks.